Missing Pennsylvania woman may have crashed car, been ejected through sunroof, police. Pennsylvania police on Sunday found a body matching the description of a woman who went missing last month. Cassandra Casey Johnston, 26, from Bucks County went missing on July 10 after visiting Philadelphia with a group of friends. Her disappearance puzzled police for weeks, but the discovery of human remains believed to belong to Johnston prompted police to speculate that an accident may have caused her death. She was last seen driving away from Philadelphia, heading out onto I-95 at around 5:30 a.m. that morning. Police on Saturday discovered in northeast Philadelphia a silver 2016 Ford Focus, which officers believe belonged to Johnston, Law and Crime reported. A private investigator hired by Johnston's family was in an aircraft when he spotted the vehicle. The human remains were around a half-mile away from the car. The police believe that Johnston crashed her car, then was ejected through the sunroof of the vehicle. It appears she didn't negotiate the curve properly, Lower Southampton Township Chief of Police Ed Krimmel reportedly said. She went down to the culvert when airborne up and over the guardrail and she crashed into a tree about 30 feet into the air. He further speculated that heavy rains caused flooding, which would have helped carry Johnston's body farther from the vehicle. Police found the body in Byberry Creek, Philadelphia 10 News reported. The body has yet to be identified, but police have notified Johnston's family. People's reaction about this news. Your best defense against hitting a tree 2 stories above the ground is to learn to drive better and probably slower. Your second best defense is a seatbelt. I always wear my seatbelt, but I also always keep my car on the road. If you manage to overtake the guardrail, you messed up. They're literally designed to stop your car when you slam into them. If you're in a situation where you might hydroplane or skid on ice or slide in slush or whatever, slow down, so you don't careen over a cliff and leave bits of your insides all over the forest floor. I ended up in the back of a truck one night while out drinking with a couple of buddies in college. The idiot driving was getting stopped by the police, so he decided to try and outrun them with me in the back of the truck. Thank God it was raining and he had worn out tires. He had only gotten to about 55 miles per hour before we hydroplaned at the first turn we came to and went down a mild embankment. We were airborne for a few seconds. I literally was in the air looking down at the top of the truck and could see the hood. He hadn't touched the brakes and I ended up landing back in the bed of the truck. The second I landed he hit the brakes and I only slid about a foot into the back of the cab. We finally came to a stop and I was thankful to be alive. I was glad to see him get arrested and sent to jail for the entire weekend. In 1980, 2 of my buddies in the Army were home on leave and decided to take out the 169 Plymouth Satellite with a 383 Magnum engine for a thrill ride. They were going 120 miles per hour downhill on Route 214 toward a steel-grated, steel trestle bridge over the Patuxent River in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, and lost control as soon as they entered the bridge. They hit the guardrail and trestles and the car split in 3 pieces and landed about 30 up in the trees of the river's edge. The engine and transmission were next to the guardrail in the road. They found Bobby and Ronnie in pieces scattered all over the place and never found all of the body parts, because some fell into the fast-paced river. I was one of the first people to arrive at the scene and it shook me up bad for several days. About 15 years ago my brother-in-law died after being ejected from a vehicle. He and a friend were driving down a highway in the early morning hours not wearing seatbelts. It was February and one of the coldest winters on record. They hit a patch of ice, spun the car around, into a ditch, hit a tree and both were thrown from the vehicle. One ended up in the tree, the other pinned between the vehicle and the tree. They both sat out in the cold, injured and couldn't move. My brother-in-law died of frostbite as a result. To this day I still have family members who don't wear a seatbelt because it's a law and they don't want to be told what to do. Utter stupidity. Reminds me of how lucky I was to make it through the first 30 years of my life.